What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you can see behind me, I have both the RMs in the shed. So for those of you that are new to the channel, here we have my 2006 Suzuki RM250. Yeah, I built this thing completely up. I've got a full build series and a whole lot of videos on building this bike from the ground up. As you can see, the engine's out of it currently. The engine's over there. We had a top end failure. If you're new here, all the videos are up on the channel, so go and check them out if you're interested in the build. But yeah, we're getting that sorted at the moment. And then here we have a 2008 Suzuki RM125. So this bike isn't mine. I'm just doing some work for a guy, and yeah, so I've already done that. If you haven't seen the mini build series I'm doing on this, yeah, I'll leave that linked down in the description, as well as the build playlist for my RM250. But yeah, just doing a little bit of work. So I done a new top end, hour meter and stuff on this, and then yeah, in return, there's something on this bike that's pretty special, which you guys will see from the title and thumbnail. And then yeah, I've also got an RM125 myself that I'm building currently. As you can see, most of the parts are there. So yeah, that build series will be linked in the description below. So yeah, all three build series on the Suzukis will be down below. But yeah, on this RM125, it has something that I'm super stoked that I managed to get my hands on. And it's full Ohlins. So as you can see, it's an Ohlins Rear Shock. And up here we've got the Ohlins internals. And the stock forks. So today we are finally switching the suspension over on both the bikes, and yeah, it is going to be super sick. So me and Jack, the owner of the RM125, we sorted it a pretty good deal. So I paid for a new top end and the hour meter on his bike and did all the work. In return, he's getting the full shower kit that I have on my bike. So yeah, we'll start with the forks. I had the stock RM tubes anodized gold. It's got the mini air bleeders on top, SKF fork seals, new OEM bushes, and some Maxima fork oil. And they have just been done, and there's no time on the forks at all. Yeah, I had a bit of a mishap with that, but yeah, the forks are completely fresh. And then yeah, we've just got some shower stickers on there just to make it look factory. And then down at the rear shock, same again, just a stock RM shock. I had the shock body vapor blasted, so yeah, it looks pretty sick and it's nice and clean. I had the stock shock spring powder coated black, put a new bump stop, and then a new seal head, shaft bush, and shock oil. So yeah, the suspension on this is yeah, it's pretty much the best that you can have stock without going into doing valving and all that. So yeah, I'd say this is a pretty fair trade. Yeah, also the front forks on this are pissing oil, so they need yeah, they need a service and stuff. And I haven't really looked in depth at the rear shock, but I wanted to do the work on the RM125 first, just in case we had any hiccups and stuff, and then the deal didn't end up going through. But all the work's done, and yeah, the bike's running. If you haven't seen the video, I'll just leave it linked up here. So that video goes through top end and stuff on the bike. But yeah, today finally switching the suspension over between the two bikes. So yeah, I'm super stoked, and we'll just get ripping straight into it. Well, that just happened. Yeah, as you would have seen from that clip, I just moved the RM. The rear fender must have caught the wheel of Dad's road bike. yeah, pulled the road bike off the wall, and on the way down caught one of the bolt kits, and there's bolts everywhere. And yeah, road bike's up there now, but I forgot to film it. I undid these, other tubes slid right out, so I've got both the Ohlins forks here. So now I'm just going to get the rear shock out of this. So I should just be able to push this bolt out now. And then just wriggle it back. There we go. And there you go, that allows perfect access to get to this rear shock. It's a bit worn there, it's obviously had something rubbing against it. There's a little tiny scratch there as well. It's alright. Like I mentioned, it's going to get a full refresh at some stage. And the front forks, yeah, I'll go into depth a little bit later. Do it now. So I mentioned in a video quite a while ago that I had something sort of planned, but it wasn't confirmed, like all lined up, you know what I mean? So I just had the message this week and it's all go. So yeah, once my RM125's done and sold, it's going to be yeah, straight into it, and pretty exciting. When that goes about, I'm going to be stripping the front forks down and the rear shock. I'll get everything recoated, yeah, serviced, refreshened, all that. I'll get it ready for the next project. Yeah, I suppose you guys are just going to have to wait and see what I've got lined up. You know, I'm super keen to just rip into it when the time comes. So hopefully it won't be too long. Yeah, my RM125 just needs probably about 3 hours work, I'd say, and we'll have the whole thing buttoned up. Yeah, I'm super excited to get that thing done. And then I'm pretty sure we're only going to take it for one ride. Yeah, obviously we're selling it, so we don't want to put too many hours on it and keep it fresh for the next owner. And then yeah, as soon as it's sold and I've got cash back in the bank, the next projects will be underway pretty much instantly once the 125 sold. So yeah, get keen for that. Now we have full access to the rear shock. Just 2 bolts, that one there, and then that one there, and then that'll just, yeah, loosen the shock right up, and we gotta just fold it out and pull it up. There you have it, the Ohlins Rear Shock for the RM. It was pretty tight just around this upper bearing here, but I managed to finally squeeze it out. But yeah, that will do the trick. It's worn quite a decent gouge in that the nitrogen tank for the shock. Sorry, you don't really see it. But yeah, just clean some of these tools up and I'll get this shock up there on the bench. Alright, so yeah, as you can see, these things are pretty grimy, yeah, pretty oily, dirty, everything pretty much. But yeah, so now need to repeat the same process on my RM250. Righty, so a quick update. We have both my RM250 and the RM125. So we have all the suspension stripped off them both. So as you can see down there, there's my forks off my 250, and then down there's the shock off the 250, and then up there we've got the Ohlins stuff. So yeah, now we're just pretty much going to reverse it again and start reassembling it. So for tonight, it's getting pretty late, so Jack, I think, is picking up his bike tomorrow, or I'm dropping off on Saturday. So I need to get his bike back going. So yeah, we'll just start putting the shower stuff on the RM125, get the subframe and stuff back on, get Jack's bike fully buttoned up for him, and then it'll still be in this video, but we'll start cleaning up the forks and stuff. So yeah, like I mentioned, it would be an absolute waste of time to strip the front forks down now, just so I can put the new oil seals in, when I'm only probably going to ride the RM250 once before the next build, which I'm like I mentioned before, it's going to be pretty exciting. So yeah, to do the forks now and then to have to pull them apart again soon, just a waste of time. Yeah, I've already got the fork seals for it, so I'm going to get one of those Sealmate things and just clean the seals out, so yeah, I can just ride it the one time before we start progressing into the next build. But yeah, for now, I just want to get the shower kit back on the 125 and get it completely buttoned up. Alrighty guys, and the last piece for the RM125 is just the seat. So let's get that thing bolted down and she's done. Alrighty guys, well Jack's RM125 is done now. So yeah, I've done all the work he has asked on it. Yeah, so I think he is coming to pick it up either tomorrow or I'm dropping it back off to him on Saturday. Either way, this is probably the last time you'll see the bike. But it's been a pretty good mini build series, I suppose. The forks are looking pretty sick on there. That gold anodizing stuff. And then yeah, the shock. So yeah, top man Jack for sorting out the deal. And yeah, I look forward to doing some more stuff with you, possibly later down the track. So we have made an absolute hurrah of a mess in here, as you can see. We've got bits, suspension parts, plastics, we've got the engine. My bike at this point is pretty much not even a bike, it's just the frame, triple clamps, swing arm and a rear wheel. But yeah, that'll get done one day, hopefully. So if Jack picks up his bike tomorrow, so tomorrow's Friday, that will leave me Saturday to hopefully get the my RM125 buttoned up. The wheels should be done hopefully tomorrow, so we can get the tyres put on them, then mounted on the bike, and then get the parts here back on the bike. So of course got plastics, exhaust, radiator and subframe to put back on. So yeah, my plan is to hopefully get that buttoned up on Saturday, and then on Sunday I want to dive into the RM250 motor over here. Yeah, I want to get that thing completely stripped down and yeah, back in the frame back there, as well as clean up the suspension and yeah, just get the whole bike back together, buttoned up. And while it's apart now, I'm going to give it a real thorough clean. It's not that dirty, but like just little things, just give it a real good clean, because yeah, it's going to be on the showroom of Max Gear, the Suzuki dealership, so I want it to be immaculate, so then when people come and look at the bike, yeah, it's just super clean. So yeah, with that, I will catch you guys soon, and we'll be putting the suspension and stuff back on the bike. So it's a few days later after we were doing the Jack's 08 RM125. So yeah, his bike's gone back to him with the suspension off the RM250, as you would have seen. So now is when the RM250 gets Ohlins. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about it. Like I said, it'd be a waste of my time to rebuild them now and then have to rebuild them for the next project. So I'm just going to give them a clean out like they are. And then yeah, I'm probably only going to get one ride on the bike before the next project build, which will make sense when it all happens. So I'm just going to give them a real good wash, get all the dirt and stuff off it. Try and just clean the seal out that's leaking. And then yeah, we'll throw them on the 250 and see how they look. So this is how my 250 looks. She's a pretty sad sight at the moment. No motor, no suspension. And but yeah, got the Ohlins Rear Shock, the RM forks with the Ohlins internals. So yeah, finally be getting these things installed. Give you guys a quick sneak peek at the next video to come. Oh, there it is. So yeah, stay tuned for that video. I'm filming like 4 videos at once, so it's getting pretty hectic, but let's get these Ohlins on. So I have spent the last probably hour cleaning up the Ohlins suspension now. Yeah, by no means is it perfect, as you can see, bit of dirt and stuff. The paint's chipping on the spring, but yeah, forks turned out pretty sweet. You're like a little bit of dirt, but not really too worried about it. Yeah, like I mentioned, these will be getting rebuilt at some stage, so it's really only going to do me for one ride, but I just wanted to clean them up because the suspension will be on when it's in the Suzuki dealership. So yeah, I wanted to get it looking pretty clean for the bits you can see, for when it's on display. So yeah, the stuff's looking pretty good compared to what it was. But yeah, now we get to install it on the bike and yeah, see how it looks. So I'll probably go forks, front brake, and then front wheel, and then yeah, move back, do the rear shock, and then that'll be pretty much this video. So I just got the whole front end on, as you've seen. Man, I already missed those anodized fork tubes. These just stock RM tubes. I don't know, the colour on them just doesn't do it for me, but like I said, I will get them anodized very soon. So, but otherwise, super hyped with the Ohlins stuff. Yeah, so now is all I've got to do is just center these fork runners here, and then tighten them up, and the whole front end's done. Then we'll move to getting the rear shock on. So guys, the RM250 officially has Ohlins suspension on it. It is going to take a little bit of work just to surface these things all properly and stuff, but yeah, in the long run it's going to be so worth it. So yeah, Ohlins front forks and the Ohlins Rear Shock is installed on the RM250. So yeah, as soon as this thing is up and running, I'm sure the suspension is going to handle extremely well. And yeah, considering the last time I rode this bike with the old suspension, I had the little collar thing around the wrong way, so they weren't doing anything. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a completely different riding experience riding this bike now with suspension that actually works. Yeah, that's the other thing I didn't mention. The suspension I gave to Jack is literally like brand new. There are no hours on those front forks with the new bushes, seals and that fork oil. The Rear Shock has done 5.5 hours. That's a super good deal, I would say. Yeah, considering the Ohlins are probably worth a little bit more money, but they need completely going through front and rear, so I'd say me and Jack sorted out a pretty fair deal. Yeah, and I also brought the piston and rings, the top end gasket set and the armator for Jack, and gave him free labour. So I'd say it was a pretty good deal that we worked out. So, what do you guys think of the Ohlins? Let me know down below in the comments. Yeah, what you guys reckon. I have actually only seen one RM250 with Ohlins suspension on it, and yeah, that was a guy on Facebook. Pretty stoked that I've got these in my hands now, and it's for sure that, well, both the suspension and the bike is not leaving me anytime soon, so I'm stoked with how the bike's coming along. So yeah, from that little teaser I gave you earlier in the video, the engine is all together and I'm about to put it in the bike now. So yeah, stay tuned for that video, guys. It shouldn't be too far away. So yeah, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for this video. Yeah, like I keep saying, I'm super stoked with the suspension, and yeah, I'm excited to see how it handles. So cheers for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.